Hello, everyone, and MC-304. Well, hi, Mrs. Ann White. I am your presenter right now, Jacob Thomas Martin Grass, and I've always sat in the back of class. And some of you may know, but my favorite show is Scrubs, so I decided to do my show on Scrubs. Now, it's a show that lasted 9 seasons. It is in a hospital setting. Sacred Heart Hospital. It's a very unique show, in my opinion. You have to like a certain type of humor. You also have to like a certain type of people, which is a very diverse people. So you can like certain people within the show that are awesome. Because I'm sure there's someone for you in every bit of the show. There's a guy named Todd that actually just only does, sex jokes. So, I mean, there's someone in this show for you that you could compare to. Me, I compare myself to the main character, JD. But enough about what I like about the show. It aired on NBC and ABC when it was on. And it currently does reruns on Comedy Central, I believe. And that's it. And it's on Netflix also. And that's where I watch it from. A target audience. They say that the target audience is 18 to 34, males hard to get. I say that it's 18 to really somewhere in the 50s and 60s because the chief of medicine in this is in his 50s, and there's a lady named Laverne who is a black lady in this, and she's up there in age as well. And all these people make an impact, so I don't think it should be just labeled for 1834. I feel like this show is literally for everyone. And especially those who like the hospital setting, those who want to be doctors, those who are interested in love interest, want to know what it's like to be in a hospital. Because Scrubs portrays that really well. It also portrays really well the fact that it's the most medically accurate show on television. Or was the most medically accurate show on television, because I got that from www.slate.com, but my friends have told me, many other websites have told me, I've got that from a lot of websites and a lot of info. So that's a true fact. I can tell you that up front. Also, one of the scary things is the show didn't do as well as I thought it did, but season 1 had 11.2 million viewers. Season 2 was its highest with 15.4 million viewers. And then it declined. It really took a big decline after Season 2 for some reason. And Season 3 was at 10.4 million. And then after that, it really hit this strand of 6.5 million and around that era until Season 7. And in Season 7, it took a dip to 5.3 and stayed there consistently until Season 9, where it took a dip into the 3.83 million. So as you can see, after Season 2, it really declined. What could have caused the decline? Maybe relationships that were going on in the show. But I don't really know the exact reason. Professional ratings, if you want some of those. Metacritic and IMDb is what I use. 8.6 on IMDb out of 10 with 143,000 users. And I feel like users are a good way to use that because the users are like us. So they know what we like. Also, it's for predominantly males. Males are predominant voters, but still I feel like the show is for everyone. The number 1 episode with a 9.1 out of 10 was My Fallen Idol. It's where Dr. Cox falls and he falls into a drunken stupor, and JD tries to get him out of it, and no one thinks he can. But you should watch the show and find out. That's in Season 5, so it's pretty far away. But also on Metacritic, it got a Metascore of 79, and their users thought it got an 8.7, so that's pretty cool. People like Courtney Cox were on the show, Heather Graham, many celebs after 9 seasons. I feel like it did what it wanted to do, reach who it wanted to reach and stuff like that. So the theory I chose was social judgment or comparison theory, created by Carolyn Sheriff, Musarraf, I believe his name is Masarraf Sheriff, and Carl Haviland. And what it is, again, it's social judgment or comparison theory, where a character takes one idea and compares it to another inside his own and shapes his own ideas based off. Takes a new idea, compares it to his old ideas, and then shapes his own. How many times a day do you do that? I do that constantly, and that's what JD does. JD usually takes his ideas that he has in his head already and brings in new ideas and then creates a monologue, and then sometimes it even goes into his real life. It was designed, like as it says, it was developed so a person could weigh their new ideas with their old ideas and then create a new hemisphere of ideas and which ones are better than the others. It's a very diverse audience. People in the show, it's pretty much... let me just show you what I mean by its diverse audience. Keep your eyes on the screen. Now, if you can see in that little clip there, that's the theme song for the whole show. I'm No Superman by Laszlo Bane, and they showed there was the six main characters: Dr. Bob Kelso, Dr. Cox, Carla, Turk, JD, Elliot Reed, and I'm missing one. I feel like. Anyways, there were six main characters, and one was a black Latino lady. Three were white. There was a black man. So there were two women. I mean, it was really diverse. Just look at that, and that's the intro to almost every single show. Maybe in the later seasons, maybe not. But they were pretty diverse. Their cast was really diverse. You couldn't really even see like their backgrounds. There's Latinos. There's ethnicity. I don't even know how to say that word. But you get the picture. There is diversity in this show. A lot of it, too. And I would definitely suggest this show if you want to watch shows for diversity, because it shows a lot of it. And now I'm going to introduce you to characters and why I think diversity is in this show a lot. I'm going to just read off this little sheet here, make sure I covered everything. Yeah, I'm going to show you in a little bit what everything is and the main characters. And I think the cast is definitely diverse. And you can see that in the first episode. Aziz Ansari, if you guys know who that is, in Parks and Rec, he's in this show later on. I'm not going to show you any of him because he's not really a main character, but he is in this show to show you how diverse the show is. They bring him in. But yeah, it definitely appeals to an audience. I definitely believe it appeals to a diverse audience. I feel like a lot of people watch this show, especially up to season 2 being 15 million viewers. What steps do I believe were taken to assure that they were? They would just put in things about diversity throughout the whole thing. And there was actually an episode of diversity, kind of like The Office, that that one guy showed us in class. And I'm just going to show you why this is evident that it's diverse. So we're going to start with the main character, and I'm going to show you step by step who everybody is. And so we're just gonna do it from right here. So stay with us. Oh no, it's 6 o'clock.
Since I was a kid, I've been able to sleep through anything. Storms,
This man right here, this is John Dorian, JD, soon to be MD 7 years later. But he's learned a rough life. He has a lot of friends. He feels like he's alone in the world. Creates his own inner monologue to keep himself entertained, I guess you could say. And he's the main character of the show. He is the protagonist and the man, in other words. I'm just gonna let this develop here, because this he pretty much tells you who Turk is. Turk is his best friend. I'm just gonna let this one play out.
Hey Turk. So, you know, I'm totally down with the rap music. Dude, be whiter. Chris Turk's my best friend. We roomed together in college. We roomed together in med school. Hell, we even got accepted by the same hospital. Here's the thing. Tupac, DMX, Dr. Dre. In most of their songs, these artists use an extremely vulgar racial slur. You ain't a word. I got it. Right. My question is this. If we're both singing along and knowing that otherwise I would never use the word, am I allowed to say... No.
So, as you can see, they were talking about the N-word there. They put stuff in the show like this throughout the whole thing. And it's just awesome. I love it. I learned so much from the show medically. And I wanted to say physically, but that's not the word I wanted to use there. So that's Turk, right? His best friend. This is Ted, the lawyer. He's pretty much, sometimes, he always looks like that, like he doesn't give a crap about the world. But the funny thing about Ted is, later on he joins a band, and it's just like the happiest day of his life. He's just having a blast with this band, because he works under Bob Kelso, who is this guy, who hates the world and loves money and doesn't care about anybody else, and Ted works under him, so it's kind of hard for Ted to really be happy and optimistic.
Cardio.
This is Elliot Reed, Moment Killer. She is JD's best friend / lover throughout the whole thing, and JD and her try to get through med school together pretty much throughout the whole show. And they both develop relationships with each other and with others, and it's really cool. Everybody needs to find their Elliot Reed in life, I think.
Back and he hasn't even.
This is Dr. Cox. This is the idol. This is JD's idol, and he is a narcissistic, sarcastic, really talented doctor that doesn't really use his talents to their maximum potential. He is divorced. He has a son, and it's just one of those things where you're like, wow, he has so much talent. And he doesn't want JD's talent to go to waste, because JD has talent too, and JD looks up to Dr. Cox. So that story develops throughout the whole thing. So now we're going to go to Carla and Laverne. Carla and Laverne. This is Todd. Todd makes literally a joke about anything sexual. He'll turn anything into a sexual joke.
You're the chess club.
So, that's Todd. This is the janitor. The janitor always picks a fight with JD no matter what day it is, no matter if JD hasn't done anything, he chooses to pick a fight with JD, and it's funny because this is one of the funnier skits of the show. Just because he picks a fight with him for no reason, and he picks on him, and it's kind of a funny deal. I don't know if that's what real janitors do in hospitals, but it's kind of funny, and just to see the way the janitor works to the top in some of these, because eventually the janitor does, for some weird reason, get to be the chief of medicine. It's pretty cool. So we get to see the other two, the last one. The last main character of the show, which is Carla. Here she is. Okay. So here she is. This is Carla.
Kenny, flat-butted college boy up to your sarong.
That what you just saw was Carla. This is Laverne. Laverne is the lovable character by everyone. Everyone in the hospital loves Laverne. And her character is the nicest. She's religious. Her is the nicest character you ever meet, and makes a big impact on everybody in the whole show. So that's character. That's Carla, and then that's pretty much your whole cast throughout the whole thing. The ones who stayed through it mostly the whole time. I mean, like I said, Aziz Ansari comes in, and some other celebs come in, like Heather Graham and Mandy Moore, and that's talking about celebs right there, Mandy Moore. But you get my drift, and yeah, so that's why I like the show, and you can easily see diversity. Actually, I want to show you a episode from episode 8 here about diversity. It actually is 15 Minutes of Fame, and they depict. Hold on, let me go back to the first thing. This is where Turk gets really upset because he's been picked on since he was actually. The beginning of this, JD and Turk save a man's life out in the street, and breathe him back to life. They do CPR, and they bring him back to life. And so they get recognition for it, but this is what happens. The hospital's trying to create diversity, and so they pretty much take JD out of all the pictures and all the fame. JD doesn't care, but Turk does, because he's been picked on for being black his whole life, or things of that nature, like he's better at athletics, he's black, things of that nature. So he just gets upset about these things. Just watch.